Good morning. Welcome back. This morning, I would like to talk to you a little bit about Find a Grave. I know that I did another video about Find a Grave, but I probably can do easily 10 videos on Find a Grave before I even talk about half the stuff that's on this website. So if you have not signed up for Find a Grave, the website is findagrave.com. It is free. There is no charge whatsoever for this website. And this website is a great place to go looking for your relatives. Where they're buried. There's a lot of genealogical information on this website, but it's also a great place to give back to people and to go out and find and log cemeteries yourself so that other people who are looking for their family members can find them in your area. So today I want to start with how to use a map. So if I'm going on a trip and I want to see what cemeteries are in town, you can do that. So you click cemeteries up here. You can do this two different ways. You can type in the location, so you can browse by location, North America, United States, and then choose whatever state you want. I'll click New York. And then it comes down to counties. So I'm going to pick Schenectady County. And then here is the list of all the cemeteries in Schenectady County. So you can go through these one by one, or you can go and just pick which one you want. So I picked this one. They have nothing in here. Okay, let's go to Quaker Street. So we have two cemeteries. We're going to pick this one. This one only has 8 memorials. That is super cool when you find one of these, because these are usually little family plots. And it is all the Briggs. There are these little family plots all over the country, and they are usually super tiny, just like this, but you can go see them. And here's a picture of the cemetery. Oh, there it is. So it's down this road, there's a house, and the family plot is up on private property, so you probably have to ask. However, there are many that you can find. I know of one in Schenectady County. This is going to sound crazy, but it is at the mall. It's right at the mall. Let me see if I can find it. This might be it. This is a family cemetery. Yep. So this is the mall in my hometown. They purchased the land, but there was a cemetery, small family plot, and they agreed to keep it. And here it is. So you walk into the entrance of the mall and you pass a small little cemetery. And there it is. There's the mall. Cemeteries are in crazy places sometimes. It's the whole Vetter family, which is a very big family in upstate New York. Okay, so there's another way. I want to go back to the beginning to look for cemeteries. So you can click cemeteries. And I like to actually use the map because I want to see all these little balloons on my map. So right now I'm in Michigan. And I can back out of it, and here they are. So that means in this little bubble here, there's 44 cemeteries. So I'm going to take a drive. I'm going to let it load. So if I want to go over here, I can click this button here, and I want to go in this area. And so the closer you get, the more these bubbles open up. And each of these bubbles are a cemetery, and you can click on, and it'll tell you Twin Lakes Cemetery. It tells you how many memorials, so you know what size cemetery you're getting into. And they're 95% photographed, which is really great. And there's 8 photo requests. And you click on the cemetery and you can have a look. Now right here, it says photos 2. What's really nice about this is you can put in photographs of the cemeteries, so you know what you're looking for. Looks like they have replaced a sign or they have 2 signs. And that is photographs of the cemetery. Now, what's really exciting is I want to show you that they have, sometimes when you look at photos of the cemeteries, they will list pictures of a map. So I'm going to go to my favorite cemeteries, and there is one in Gaylord. And if you click on it, there's actually 2 in Gaylord. If you click photos, one of them happens to be of a map. And this is really great. So if you figure out where people are and you can follow this map, you can actually put in their location of where they're buried, which is on the when you put them in. So I'm going to actually show you an example of that at another cemetery in Vanderbilt. So Vanderbilt also has a photo of a map right here. So you can actually print this map and follow through it, through the whole cemetery. But I want to show you a person in this cemetery right here, section 1, plot 181, grave 3. If you can put down the location of where the person is buried, that is huge information, especially if there is a map to go with it. So a person who is looking for this woman can look up that map and know exactly where their loved one's buried, instead of going, oh, my loved one's buried in this cemetery, and I'm going to show you there's 977 memorials, so they have to go through every single memorial, or they have to look at the picture and try to figure out where that memorial is. And this picture gives absolutely no hints as to where the person is buried. So putting location is very, very helpful to you and to anybody else who is looking at the information. So what I do is when I go to cemeteries, and when most of the time I find something to put in there, I actually make a list of my favorite cemeteries. And you can have a list. I have a list of 22 spanning multiple states of cemeteries that I have visited, I've contributed to, or I have on my list to go see. There's a couple. There is one in Alba, Star Township. I want to see this one, so I put this on my list. Now, Staunton National Cemetery in Virginia. I was actually in Virginia over the summer and I logged that entire cemetery. It doesn't look it because it's 86% photographed, but if you go down there, there's a lot of memorials where it says bodies of 2 military people. So they don't actually have names on them. They just have multiple body parts buried in that spot. So how to create a favorite. So if you go to your cemeteries, let's see, I don't know the name, but I'm going to look in Cadillac, Michigan. Okay. And right down here, I have a map and it's going to show me. And let's say this is New Jennings Cemetery. This is the one that I like. I want to go here. So I want to be able to access the cemetery very quickly and very simply. You just add right here. Once you have created an account, you click add a favorite. And now it is favorited. You can see it right here on the screen that it's favorited. And then when you go to your profile and you scroll down here to your favorite cemeteries, there it is. New Jennings is in here. And on the right side, it gives you information about every cemetery. There is one request. There is a lot. So I like logging cemeteries. So this is a cemetery that is going to take me my lifetime, and I probably won't even get close to helping. This is a military cemetery. As you can see, it has over 23,000 memorials and only 19% photographed. So this is the type of place where you want to go and you can spend hours taking photographs and then coming home and logging those photographs. And you may say, okay, if I take a photograph, how do I upload these photographs? Well, there's a nifty little app called Find a Grave, which you can load it up right there. It says upload photo, and you can take the photo instantly of the grave and then upload it. I like to bring them home, and I like to work with the computer and my phone at the same time. But I want to show you how to upload a photo really quick. So I have someone ready to be picture ready to upload. So I'm going to go to Resurrection Cemetery. Right here, I'm going to go back to Ruby Abil, who we've already talked about. And so if I want to add a photo, right here is the button. I click add photo. And I can select photo. I'm going to go, and it is going to be, where is she? Right there. Open her up, upload. Now you have to indicate, some people put pictures of their loved ones up here or obituaries, and you have to make sure that you mark that it's a cemetery, it's a headstone photo. Let's see if it gives me that option, because you don't want it to, right here. So grave, person, family, or other. So if it is not a grave photo, You don't want to click gray photo because you still want it to be out there, because as soon as you say, if you put up a picture of a person, you say it's a gray photo, then it'll no longer be in the pile of unphotographed graves. Therefore, nobody will be looking to put a photograph up there of the grave. So I can put grave and then I can put a caption if I would like, and then I hit done and it uploads and there it is. Now, if I upload a picture, I have a double on here and I want to get rid of it. As you can see, I already had a picture. I click the photograph and I hit delete. Now you can only delete your own photographs. So if you created a profile for someone or you added photographs onto someone else's, you can only delete your own photos, even if someone else has put photos on there. You can ask them to remove them. Now I'm going to go to a place called My Memorials. Now, anytime you look up a memorial on Find a Grave, these purple dots here indicate that you actually created this profile for that person. That means their name wasn't in the system at all. So right here, Vale Cemetery is one of my favorite cemeteries in New York. This person, I took photographs, a beautiful headstone, and now he had two headstones. He had a marker and a headstone. And so I took a photograph and I used all of this information and I input it into the system. Now, I do not have a map, and Vale Cemetery is a really old cemetery and it's really hard to tell where people are buried. So I put in as much information as I could. Now, if someone else were to add a photograph, even though I created it, it's public, so everybody can add in. But if I didn't like someone else's photograph, I can't delete it. But let's say it's a picture, it's a bad picture you didn't like, or if you find someone and the picture's bad and you can barely read it, but you go out and you take a better picture, then just upload your picture and both pictures will be up there, and that is just fine. You can do that. So I'm going to go back to my memorials and have you see, I mean, they're from all over. Now, some have no photos because they're newly buried. I knew that person and there is no headstone yet. Here's another one. And by law, they don't have to have headstones. So there might be many people that you know are buried in a cemetery who don't have a headstone. So keep this in mind when you're doing your research. If you know someone is buried in a cemetery, but they are not listed in Find a Grave, and maybe you call the cemetery and ask, they may not have a headstone, so they may be buried there. In that case, I would take a picture of the area that they are buried in, and then put their name in that area. I've done that on a few people, and you kind of use a program like a picture editor, stuff like that. I will cover that in another video, and I will show you exactly how to do that. But that is it. If you have any questions, let me know. I'll gladly answer them.